blowing the whistle on bad music. Bob Skinstad on 2 Oceans 5 Radio.
Now, 3 years ago, if you'd said to people that was going to happen, everyone would have said, you're loony, you're walking on the moon. And that change has happened so quickly.
For the last 12 years, 12, 13, 14 years, my job has essentially been to try and convince print people that online is the future. In the last 5 years, it's that online is the present, and now it's that actually online is the past, and you have to be on tablets and mobile.
But the discussion that we had related to what people are doing with the social media evolution and revolution.
I mean, just thinking about your house. Like 10 years ago, you'd be choosing the correct garden gnome for the garden.
Yeah.
Now it's like this James Bond garden gnome where the little cap lifts up and this aerial comes out bzz, 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 and that gets your broadband.
Yeah, you laugh.
I've actually forgotten what your question was because I'm so amazed by my own little metaphor there.
Yeah.
When the technology matches the efforts of people, that's when we have this sweet spot. Social media online has changed everything we do so dramatically, but specifically what I do, which is journalism.
Right now we're going to go into Bruce Springsteen and Easy Money.
Bob Skinstad, only on 2 Oceans 5 Radio.
It's like any business. Some guy's going to start a lawn mowing company and he's paying too much, with his faxes and printers, and he's saying, well, I want to move offices because I need more staff, etc. When do I make that leap? And I almost need a holding period.
Yeah, and it's very difficult.
But what if you don't have that?
It's very difficult to take people who've been in business, say, for 50 years and say to them, you're not actually a startup. That is the tricky thing, to get them to understand they have to rethink all their business principles. If you look at the American model, the European model, that you do have to switch to digital. You have to make sure that your revenue is going to start coming from digital in the next 3 to 5 years. Like 65% of men read the iPad on the toilet.
Bob Skinstad, only on 2 Oceans 5 Radio.
But that's exactly where the new consumption of media is happening. Is that nexus going to stay there, or is it becoming an ever-moving target?
We're on a radio show that's streaming online.
Yeah.
You're acting out the answer yourself, actually, as we speak.
Why don't you introduce the next song up?
Okay, well, this is Black Sunshine, who coined the name Black for a band, BLK, before the Blackjacks.
Here we go. Black Sunshine, Born in a Taxi. Where did your love affair with music start?
Wow, I'm sure it's some kind of lame story about sitting in a room without being loved, whatever. I can't remember, thank goodness. But my real love is of South African music. There are so many fantastic, talented bands in this country. There's just not enough coverage. The only kind of coverage you get is this terrible. In my opinion, music journalists in South Africa are like motoring journalists. Just take freebies, talk crap, and really don't love what they do.
Well, that's a nugget. If we wanted to promote our podcast out there, that's a nugget right there, Street. Bring down the barriers and access to music, etc. will change some of their face, because quality then should out. If the South African musos are good enough, internationally they'll be getting the kudos in that. Isn't it a case of the more you promote it and the bigger your concerts can be and the bigger your accessible audience, the quicker you grow? I mean, look at the Biebers and Pinks and the predetermined destiny of winners of Idols and those kind of people.
So I thought we were talking about music. I didn't realize we were going to... No, I mean, the great South African bands who resonate with what you just said, Die Antwoord, for example. Mm-hmm. Can I tell a story about hot bum sex?
Definitely.
Thank you. But this kind of sums up how terrible the condition of the music industry in South Africa. So Die Antwoord have to go overseas to make something of themselves. And I'm not just talking about record sales or money, but to get credibility and to have people understand them. And yet they basically blow off South African journalists. We haven't got the hot bum sex.
No.
Okay. They blow them off and don't give them interviews and things because they think they're better than South Africa. And the truth is that they are. So you get this invidious kind of a thing happening where, for example, I wrote a review of one of the albums, and we're one of the only proper music publications, or publications that cover music. Guardian, Rolling Stone's another one. Only a couple. And they get so upset that when they release their new video, on the video it says, for hot bum sex, phone, and this is massive phone number, it's my phone number. So basically I've been getting...
That's why your phone's going off.
Exactly. So I get quite a few calls from around the world every day, which is fine. It gets irritating. When it started, I was actually in Tunisia. So I kept answering because you get... So basically I had about a 2,000 Rand phone bill for a week or something. But the point is that they... At one, they do two things at the same time. At one, they crave recognition from South Africa, but when they get it, they don't want actual criticism because they don't trust the South African music industry. It's a terrible, terrible tale of how our guys have to go overseas. And of course, this isn't just music; it's for lots and lots of things. But we're talking about music now.
Chica Freak.
Yeah, I think Gazelle are fantastic. If I can use an old-fashioned word like postmodern band.
Bob Skinstad, only on 2 Oceans 5 Radio.
But what South Africans, I think, do is they explore overseas a lot more than they actually do in their own backyard. That's part of what Bob's Weekend Getaways is about.
I've worked in places like San Francisco and spent my time there telling them how pathetic their place actually was compared to what we've got.
At Gendre with an underscore afterwards, you have won an iPhone 4S. But you know exactly how many Ks it is because I just told you. Why don't you announce that in kilometers?
It's 190 kilometers there, although it's obviously much further coming back because who would want to leave?
Oh, there we go. Exactly. He's busy selling Robertson. I think he might live in Robertson. We can get away. Chris Rope, he's just got the cheese face on now, and all the giveaways are going to be happening over the next month. Lots of fun with Bob Skinstad. I enjoyed the first show. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.
Blowing the whistle on bad music. Bob Skinstad on 2 Oceans 5 Radio.